Yes, am I audible? Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you?
Yes, sir.
I think yesterday's class we have seen that review of overhead transmission line, and also we have seen that classification of transmission line based on the operating voltage and length of line. Okay, low voltage line, medium voltage, high voltage, extra high voltage, ultra high voltage. Okay, as examination point of view, they will ask you the what is the range for different uh, transmission line like a medium voltage, extra high voltage, ultra high voltage. Okay, so we have to remember this point. Okay, next classification of transmission line based on the uh, length of transmission line. Okay, instead of my sound, if you uh, listening that another noise, please respond me. Yes, you are getting another noise from my side. Yes, tell me anyone. Yes,
No, sir.
yes, is it clear? Only my voice. Yes.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, so today we will see the main components of the overhead lines. Okay, so these are the main components of the overhead transmission line. Okay, as we know that overhead lines are generally used to transmit and distribute the electrical power. Okay, so accessories required to transmit and distribute the electrical power. That is what the main components of that electric power transmission and distribution. Okay, so the successful operation of an overhead lines depends upon the great extent upon the mechanical design of the line. Okay, so before the erection of overhead transmission line, we have to take care, or we have to uh, keep in your mind what are the main components. Okay, so while constructing an overhead transmission line, it should be ensured that the mechanical strength of the line is such so as to provide against the most probable weather conditions. Okay, as we know that our overhead transmission line is always projected to the weather conditions. Okay, or the climatic conditions. Okay, so by keeping that point in mind, we have to design a overhead line in such a way that that should be capable to withstand such a type of pressure, or we can say that adverse conditions that is given by that climate or weathers. Okay, in general the main components of the overhead lines are conductors, okay, which carries the electrical power from the sending end station to the receiving end station. Okay, as we know that conductors, what is the role of that conductors. Okay, so we will see the what are the various conducting materials required. Okay, next supports, which may be poles or towers and keep the conductors at a suitable level above the ground. Okay, why the supports are provided means what, to give the clearance between the ground and the conductors. Okay, which is going to carry the electrical power. Okay, that is the function of supports. Supporting structure may be poles or the towers. Okay, next the insulators. Insulators in our electrical engineering plays the very important role or the vital role. Okay, instead of the insulators there is no we can say that existence of electrical power. Okay, or we can say that uh, i- instead of insulator we can't establish or erect the electrical power systems. Okay, so the insulators are very important. Okay, and which are support attached to the supports and insulate the conductors from the ground. Okay, as well as they will provide the uh, highly resistive path for the leakage currents also. Okay, next the cross arms. Okay, this is the, I think, fourth main component of the overhead line. That is what the cross arm. Am I audible? Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, the cross arm, which provides a support to the insulators. Okay, cross arm. I will show you the cross arm. Okay, miscellaneous items such as phase plates, danger plates, lightning arresters, anti-climbing wires, and etc. Okay, so the miscellaneous items are also important. Okay, so see over here. From seeing this diagram, you will come to know the various parts. Okay, insulators, poles, gay wires. Okay, transformers. Okay, fuses, cutouts. By referring this diagram, okay, you will come to know the insulators, stay wires, or we can say that gay wires. Okay, used to support the pole structures. Okay, the strain insulators. Okay, so see this diagram carefully. From this diagram, you will come to know various main components of the transmission line or the distribution line. Okay, so see over here. Here, hot 1, hot 2, and hot 3. These are the phase wires. Okay, three phase primaries. Okay, nothing but the hot 1, hot 2, and hot 3. These are the standard aluminum overhead conductors. Okay, uh, I think this one is generally distributed, distribution line is there. Okay, next the strain insulators. Okay, three strain insulators are used over there. Okay, I think this one is the wooden pole. Okay, pole. This I'm sliding my arrow pointer over here. This is what the down gay wire, or we can say that it is a stay wire. Okay, so this wire is used to support, or will help to pole to erect straightly. Okay, so this is what the down stay wire. Okay, next this is a cutout three fuses. Okay, so we have to remember this point. Okay, next these transformers and all. Okay, so see over here, by seeing the next pictures we will come to know what is exactly. Okay, so some items I have not enlisted before, that's why I'm once again enlisted over here. Okay, lightning arresters. Okay, it is used to discharge the excessive voltage built upon the line to earth due to the lightning. Okay, so stay wires, it brasses or cables are fastened to the pole at the termination or angle poles to resist the lateral forces. What does it mean? Lateral forces means what? The wind pressure, we can say that. Okay, so stay wires or guy wires are used to uh, support the poles. Okay, and it will resist the lateral forces like a wind pressure and all. Okay, and it is helpful to uh, erect the pole straightly. Okay, next lightning arresters. Okay, as we know that function of the lightning arrestor, it will avoid the lightning strokes. Next, fuses and isolating switches. Okay, it will isolate the different parts of the overhead systems. Okay, next, uh, continuous earth wire. It is run on the top of the towers to protect the line against. Okay, lightning discharge. Earth wire, function of the earth wire, it will protect the lines against the lightning discharge. Okay, so read this sentence carefully. Okay, this is only theoretical. Okay, so you have to read carefully, because of on these we can say that main components there will be a chances to ask one MCQ. Okay, so V guards are often provided below bare or overhead lines running along a or across a public street to make the line safe if it should be break. Okay, I think V guards you have seen in city. Okay, or in colony, because of because of the wind pressure and Another things, live conductors may get broken down and they can be fall on the street. Okay, so avoid to uh, falling of that live conductors to on the ground, that V guards wires are used. Okay, so it will avoid the falling of that live conductor on the street. Okay, next, the guard wire are provided above or below power lines while crossing telephone or telegraph lines. Okay, V guards and guard wires are different. Okay, as we know that AC transmission line going to create the uh, communication line interference. Okay, communication line interference means what? If the transmission line or a distribution line, if and telephonic line, if it is laying along a single street, or we can say that path, they will create the interference between them. Okay, means what? The telephonic signal get distorted or get interrupted because of that our AC line inductance. Okay, so to avoid that one, guard wires are generally used above or below the power lines while crossing the telephonic or telegraphic lines. Okay, the guard wires and steel structures are solidly connected to earth wire. Okay, so remember this point. Guard wires and steel structures are solidly connected to earth. Okay, next, phase plates in order to distinguish the various phases. Okay, R phase, Y phase, B phase. Okay, in previous diagram, I think we have seen that hot 1, hot 2, and hot 3. The, this is what? The phase plate. Okay, next, the bird guards. Okay, a sticks of ebonite with a rounded top is fixed near the insulator on the cross arm to prevent the flashover due to the birds picking on the conductors on lines with the pin insulators. Okay, uh, the normal tendency of that birds, if it is seated, sorry, if they seated at the pin insulator, they will pick the insulator by their, we can say that, beak. Okay, and that's why there will be a chances to flash over. Okay, so to avoid that one, bird guards are generally used. Okay, so bird guards are nothing but a stick of ebonite with a rounded top is fixed to near the insulator on the cross arm. Okay, uh, in the transmission line towers we will see the bird guards. Okay, बघा, बर्ड गार्ड्स म्हणजे काय असतं की पिन इन्सुलेटर असो किंवा कोणतेही इन्सुलेटर असो, त्यावर जेव्हा पक्षी बसतात तेव्हा त्यांच्या चोचीने काय करतात, त्याच्यावरती असे चोच मारतात किंवा त्यांची टेंडन्सी असते ती. सो त्यामुळे काय होतं, समटाईम्स तिथं फ्लॅश ओव्हर होऊ शकतो. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे काय होतं, दोन म्हणजे मेटॅलिक स्ट्रक्चर आहे, क्रॉस आर्म आणि लाईव्ह कंडक्टर. याच्यामध्ये जर एखादा कंडक्टिंग पार्टिकल आला किंवा कंडक्टिंग मीडियम जर अवेलेबल झालं, तर तिथलं जे मटेरियल आहे मधलं इन बिटवीन क्रॉस आर्म किंवा मेटॅलिक स्ट्रक्चर आणि लाईव्ह कंडक्टर, याच्यामध्ये जर हायली कंडक्टिव्ह मटेरियल आलं, उदाहरणार्थ बर्ड असतील किंवा काही असेल, तर त्यावेळेस काय होतं की एअरमधून फ्लॅशओव्हर व्हायचे चान्सेस असतात. कारण ट्रान्समिशन लाईन किंवा ट्रान्समिशन लाईन कंडक्टर्स, it will operates at a high voltage. Okay, so voltage, if the voltage level is high, means what? They have the capability to ionize that one. Okay, after the ionization there will be chances to flow the electrical current through the air. Okay, that's why there will be a flashover. Okay, काय होतं की ट्रान्समिशन लाईन ही खूप हाय व्होल्टेजला ऑपरेट होत असल्यानं काय होतं तिथं की बर्ड हे लाईव्ह कंडक्टर आणि क्रॉस आर्म किंवा मेटॅलिक स्ट्रक्चरच्या मध्ये जर आले, तर काय होतं, बर्ड्स हे इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जीचे कंडक्टर्स आहेत किंवा कंडक्टिंग मीडियम म्हणून ऍक्ट होतात. मग कम्पॅरेटिव्ह टू एअर मीडियम, बर्ड्स हे हाय कंडक्टिव्ह ऍक्ट होतात आणि त्याच्यामधून इलेक्ट्रिकल करंट जाण्याचे चान्सेस असतात. मग समटाइम्स तिथं फ्लॅशओव्हर पण होतं. मग ते फ्लॅशओव्हर अवॉइड करण्यासाठी बर्ड गार्डचे यूज केले जातात. ठीक आहे, एम आय ऑडिबल? येस, येस, एम आय ऑडिबल?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Danger plate, as we know that danger plate, what is the function of danger plate? And I think it is indicator. Okay. Next, barbed wire. Okay, barbed wire is wrapped on the pole at a height of about 2.5 meter from the ground for at least 1 meter. Okay, this prevents the climbing of unauthorized person. Okay, so barbed wire, आपल्याला माहिती आहे ना, कंपाऊंडला वगैरे जी तार असते त्याला आपण बार्बेड वायर म्हणतो. आणि ती बार्बेड वायर ही पोलच्या भोवती रॅप केली जाते. कशासाठी? टू प्रिव्हेंट द क्लाइम्बिंग ऑफ अनऑथराइज्ड पर्सन. ओके. और टू प्रिव्हेंट द क्लाइम्बिंग ऑफ monkeys, or we can say that some reptiles. Okay. Next, miscellaneous items such as vibration dams, okay, top hampers, beads for jumpers, etc. These are the some miscellaneous items are there. Okay. Next, conductor materials used in overhead lines. Okay, this is also a very important point in our overhead transmission line. The conductors is one of the important items as most of the capital outlay is invested for it. Okay, I think in fifth unit we have seen that Kelvin's law. Okay, capital outlay means what? Annual cost of the conductor. In that fifth unit, you have seen that according to the Kelvin's law. Tell me anyone what is meant by the Kelvin's law, or what is the statement for the Kelvin's law? Yes, tell me. Yes, anyone? Yes, tell me. What is the statement for the Kelvin's law? Yes. Yes, tell me anyone. What is the statement for the Kelvin's law? Yes. No one is there? Because of the capital outlay. From this word, you should remember that Kelvin's law, because of the Kelvin's law is very important. Okay. So if you unable to remember the Kelvin's law, you should open the book or notes. You have to read it. Okay, once. So the conductor is one of the most important items, as most of the capital outlay is invested for it. Means what? The annual capital cost is mostly invested for the conductors. Okay, therefore the proper choice of the material and size of the conductor is of considerable importance. Okay, uh, I think we have seen that selection of conductors. Okay, choice of size of the conductors. Okay, we have seen that economic aspect of overhead transmission line into that. Okay, because of it is a very important uh, part of our overhead lines. Okay, the conductor material used for the transmission and distribution of electrical power should have the following properties. Okay, so properties of the conductors are very important because of, as we know that I have said earlier, it is a most important item because of most of the capital outlay is invested for it. Okay, so it should be selected such a way that it should have high electrical conductivity. Okay, and also high tensile strength in order to withstand the mechanical stresses. Okay, a conductor should have the high electrical conductivity, high tensile strength in order to withstand the mechanical stresses. Okay, low cost as that it can be used for the long distance. Okay, uh, in all cases, third properties may or may not be always, we can say that may or may not be always there. Okay, so we have to do the some compromises or adjustment. Because of low cost conductors, it will may or may not have the high electrical conductivity or high tensile strength. Okay, so in order to erect or install the highly efficient overhead transmission line, you should not too much thinking on the cost of the conductors. Okay, so low specific gravity so that weight per unit volume is small. Okay, low specific gravity means what, the mass of that particular conductor should be minimum, okay, per unit volume. Okay, mass of that particular conductor should be minimum. So remember this, these are the some important properties, okay, of the conductor materials. All above the requirements are not found in the single material. Okay, this is point to be noted, that all above four properties, as I said earlier, not found in a single material. Okay, therefore, while selecting a conductor material for a particular case, compromises is made between the cost and required electrical and mechanical properties. Okay, so remember this point, compromises is made between the cost and required electrical and mechanical properties. Okay, sometimes material having a least cost, but they don't have the enough electrical conductivity, as well as they don't have the enough tensile strength. At that time you should not think on the cost of that conductors. Okay, so some important conductor materials are copper, aluminium, steel, cored aluminium, okay, galvanized steel, cadmium, copper. Okay, so good conductor of the electrical energy, that is what the copper, but tensile strength of the copper is little bit lesser than that of the steel cored aluminium. Okay, and also the uh, specific gravity of the copper is more than that of the aluminium. Okay, so the weight of the line conductors will be increases, so it will affect on the sag, and it will be affect on that overhead transmission line. Because of weight of the conductor, it will decide the or it will affects on the cross arm life. Okay, so aluminium, steel cored aluminium, galvanized steel, and cadmium copper generally used for the conductor material. Okay, or used as a conductor material. Next, the poles, line supports, uh, line supports. Into that, we have to use the poles and towers. Okay, pole are different and towers are different. Okay, poles are classified on the basis of material used in the making poles. Okay, wooden poles, concrete poles, and the steel poles. Okay, wooden poles, concrete poles. Wooden pole means what, the simple timber wood, or we can say that uh, wood which having the least hygroscopic nature, means what, that wood can be used as a pole. Okay, means what, wood which have the least hygroscopic nature, म्हणजे जे लाकूड कमीत कमी पाणी शोषून घेईन असं लाकूड आपण पोल साठी यूज करू शकतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल द टिम्बर वूड. ओके, नेक्स्ट द कॉन्क्रीट पोल्स, reinforced cement concrete poles, that is what the RCC poles. Generally, we are going to seeing these poles. Okay, next, into the concrete poles, pre-stressed cement concrete poles, PCC. Okay, next, steel poles, tubular poles, rail poles, joist poles, and H-beam poles. Okay, I will show you tubular poles means what, how it will look like. Rail poles means what, RS joist poles means what. Okay, we will see in next slide. So see over here, wooden poles. This is the pictures for the wooden poles. Okay, this one is the RCC pole. Okay, reinforced cement poles. Okay, cross section of rail poles. Okay, rail poles means what, railway रूळ जे असतात ना त्याच्यासारखे असतात हे क्रॉस सेक्शन ऑफ रेल पोल्स. ओके, these are the types of the steel poles. Okay, cross sections of rail poles. Okay, next, the tabular poles. Okay, generally this is used for the street lighting and all. Okay, uh, this one is what, the rail poles. Okay, rail poles. So these are the various steel poles. Next, the RS joist. This is the diagram or picture for the RS joist poles. Okay, next, cross section of RS joist poles. Okay, next, H beam pole. Okay, this one is what the H beam pole. Next, cross section of H beam. Okay, cross section for the H beam. Okay, so see once wooden poles, RCC poles. I think all of you seen that RCC pole or the PCC pole. You may or may not be seen that wooden poles. Okay, but tabular poles, rail poles, RCC pole, PCC pole. I think you have seen that. Okay. Next, circuits. Yesterday's class, I think I have given you a little bit introduction regarding the circuits. Okay. Uh, Circuits means what? Number of, uh, we can say that if it is a three-phase line, means what? How many circuits are there, which is going to use it for the carrying the electrical energy. Okay. So the single circuit, double circuit. Okay, this is the diagrams for the single circuit 330 kilovolt line. Next to the double circuit 35 kilovolt line. Okay, single circuit in the sense, look here, this one is one phase, this one is another phase, and this one is the third phase. Okay, this one is what the three phase overhead transmission line with the single circuit. Okay, this is also a three phase overhead transmission line but having the two circuits. Okay, two circuits, one, two, three. Okay, one, two, three means what? Over here, it is a three-phase transmission line, but having the two circuits. Okay, so that one is double circuit. Okay, this one is also a double circuit line, but the pole structure is different. Okay, next, parallel single circuit lines. Okay, parallel lines. Next, the four circuits on one tower line. Okay, six circuits on the of the three different types. Okay, six circuits. So see over here, this one is what? The cross arm. Okay, this one is what? I'm sliding my arrow pointer. Look here. This one is what? The cross arm. See over here. This one is what? The horizontal member is nothing but the cross arm. Okay. So this one is what? The cross arm. Towers. Okay, we have seen that the poles. Okay, next. That is what the supporting structure into that poles and the towers are there. Okay, so poles, we have seen that already. Wooden poles, RCC poles, and okay, next, the towers. Based on the numbers of the circuit carried by the transmission tower, it can be classified as single circuit towers, double circuit towers, and the multi circuit tower. Okay, so see over here once, single circuit tower. Okay, this one is what? The double circuit towers. Next, the multi circuit towers. Okay, these are what? The multi circuit towers. According to the angle of deviation, there are four types of the transmission towers. Okay, the angle of deviation 0 to 2 degree. Okay, a type of tower is there. Okay, so this is not your part of syllabus. Okay, but I have given to you for your kind information as per the competitive examination point of view. Okay, so a type of tower, for this one angle of deviation is 0 to 2 degree. B type tower, angle of deviation 2 degree to 15 degree. Okay, C type tower, the angle of deviation is 15 degree to 30 degree. Okay, as per the force applied by the conductors on the cross arm, the transmission tower can be categorized in another way. Okay, tangent suspension tower, and it is generally a type tower. Okay, angle tower or tension power, sorry, tower, or sometime it is called as section tower. Okay, if you do your MTech or ME in electrical power system, you will come to know what is meant by the tangent suspension tower, angle tower, or tension tower. Okay, or section tower, you will come to know. Also you will come to know the angle of deviation, what its significance in electrical overhead lines, and all you will come to know. Okay, so it is not your part of syllabus. Okay. N- so see over here the angle tower and the tangent tower, what is the difference between them? Okay, angle tower and tangent towers. Angle towers are generally used where the transmission line or transmission overhead line has to be turned. Okay, at that place that angle tower is used.